North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Monday with the Marks. It is just two Marks tonight because it's just me and Rody. Brian is still on his way back from his travels. He, of course, is their ring announcer for Full Faith Wrestling, who had a show this weekend.
He did.
Which we got some details on. He raved about. I'm sure we're going to get all the full stories. But he got to meet a lot of cool people. Was Vicky Guerrero?
I know that one.
Was a big one that he complimented on. But there were others that he was high on. I can't remember the whole list now without going back through my text. But we missed you, Brian. What you didn't miss, there was a draft, Rob.
There was a draft?
There was a draft.
Holy moly.
Of the Raw and SmackDown brands. So, for those of you who follow us weekly, Rody and I have not been covering Monday Night Raw. There just hasn't been a need. And what we found out tonight is that while we were gone, nothing's changed.
Nothing. Wait, no, there's that new tag team match of Almost and Arcade. Wait.
No, that's still there.
Okay.
Some things are new.
Drew's going for the title.
No. Drew's going for the title.
That's
Goldberg and Lash.
No, that's.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
The draft on paper, I've got to say two things on it.
You have to,
Rody.
Yeah.
And here's the two things that I'm going to say.
What is it?
Number one,
Uh-huh.
we're supposed to have new and fresh rivalries.
Something new, something fresh.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Why is Edge and Seth going to the same damn show?
Because it's something new.
They've been fighting for 6 fucking months.
It's fresh.
It ain't fresh.
It's drip.
Fresh and so clean.
Oh, Ridge Holland drafted to SmackDown apparently.
Yeah, live picks. These are worth reacting to. Good job.
Hey, we're going live. We're watching Raw as we're doing this. So
yeah, I guess we could cover the picks that are happening now because this is part of my other point, Rob. What the fuck are these two doing out here? This guy, I don't think can even wrestle for a year. Gable Stevenson. He's supposed to be the next Kurt Angle. He's the reigning Olympic gold medalist.
Right.
Obviously, he's also the reigning NCAA champion. And I think he has one more year of college and amateur status. So I think that's a bit premature.
Do they need to finish?
No.
He's about to get a mega fucking contract.
He already has. He's already signed it.
Yeah. So don't really need it.
Speaking of don't really need it, what are these two doing out here? Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville doing drafting. Like what brand is this?
So the discussion we had.
Oh, and Sami Zayn is staying on SmackDown.
Yeah, the discussion we had, boys and girls out there, for all the millions and millions of viewers we have, is that in the past, Raw and SmackDown had opposing general managers or whatever you wanted to call them. Owners.
They had somebody representing the brand making the pick.
That could draft against each other. Oh, let me get this person before they get this person. We'll try to go the best to the worst. You know how most drafts go, right? But we don't have that anymore. We don't have the adversarial GMs or even competitive GMs. It's just these two.
They do have Gable Stevenson apparently in his own home.
Gable, yeah, they do like a NFL thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And I further don't get it is it's just so obvious some of these things because of the Rob rule that if Becky Lynch gets drafted, so does her husband. If Bianca gets drafted, so does her husband.
Not my rule.
It is your rule.
It's not my rule.
It's your rule.
It's the company rule. WWE's rule is if you're married, you're on the same brand.
Okay.
It's the rule.
I don't have a company handbook. I know it as the Rob rule because you're the one who taught it to me.
Whatever.
Just putting it out there.
Semantics.
So it was no shock that Naomi, after being drafted to SmackDown, that the Usos were going to follow. To further my point, what is shocking is how loosely they are with the fucking rules here, because in the past it was tag teams. that could be drafted together, right? So if I picked the New Day,
Yeah.
I can take Kofi and Xavier,
Okay.
which is what happened.
Yeah.
But we're getting a lot of King Nakamura's, and you get Boogs too. We're getting a lot of, you get Happy Corbin, well, you also get Riddick Moss. You know, you get AJ Styles, you get Omos too. Like
They're
these
married.
are not tag teams.
They're married.
They're
No,
married?
They're not married.
Omos and AJ, no.
Oh.
No, remember AJ's wife was in a storyline where Samoa Joe was Wendy. Wendy was her name. That's
Wendy.
right.
Yes, great cheeseburger.
Yeah,
That's
great great cheeseburger, you dick.
Yeah. Everything you just said is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no more married couples, so I don't know where we're gonna go with this. And Stike is our reigning lieutenant on the board as we see Charlotte's entrance here.
Don't forget we got.
Is this a true first?
Hold on. Don't forget we got. We also have demons came together. So married people go together, and demons.
Oh yes.
Alexa and Finn went together. So the demons.
I'm not sure which of the dumb announcers said it, but they said that by getting Finn Balor on Raw, that pick was 2 for 1 because you got the demon as well.
Oh yeah. I don't know if
I'm not even sure how to react to that one.
My memory is hazy at best most times. I believe that Charlotte and Bianca had a match in NXT.
I don't think they had a straight up one-on-one. And it might have. You might be right that it happened on NXT. Now you're right.
I think they had a match on NXT to determine
They did.
who was going to face Rhea.
No. It was just a "don't overlook me, bitch."
Yeah. So
match.
this is not the first time.
No. Rob wins.
Yeah.
On the board, Stike Leather says, "I will say at least they didn't do Raw would get 3 picks and SmackDown would get 2." Okay.
But that made sense.
Wait, that did make sense. And guess what? They fooled you because that's exactly what they did. The TV lines up, but if you look at the supplemental draft, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people went to Raw in the supplemental draft, and 6 went to SmackDown.
There you go.
So they even themselves out to make sure that was the case. So, and the supplemental draft for SmackDown had a bunch of dudes that Rob loves. We got, Drew Gulak.
Big fan.
Yeah. Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, that team, they're there.
I can't wait.
They split up Retribution. Mace is on his own over on SmackDown now.
Tragic.
And the call-ups of Tony Storm and Rob's personal favorite, Aaliyah.
I love Aaliyah.
No Robert Stone brand Aaliyah, though, Rob. This is
That could be tragic. However,
it will be.
However, I will say,
there's no could.
What I will say is Vince. You can criticize Vince about a lot of things. He's really shitty at a lot of things. I think he's always been fairly good at taking the kind of a character that Aaliyah always has been and making it momentarily successful.
He could also put a dead fetus on her face like he did to somebody else that was that level of talent. So you never know.
No.
The thing with Aaliyah, I see, and I thought this is what you were going to say, is if he's going to a diva era, maybe she can be a star. She's on Bella level of wrestling.
I'm not saying she's going to be a wrestler, a legend, or a Hall of Famer, or even a second contract person, right?
Wow. We just keep lowering the bar.
But I'm saying that they could make her momentarily popular. I mean, they're good with that kind of character. Even Adam Rose had a moment in the sun.
That's a fair point. No way Jose had a moment in the sun.
Everybody gets a moment.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a moment, then they drop.
Even
Dana Brooke had a moment.
Like the March Madness CBS thing. One shining moment.
No, you're not allowed to sing on this show.
Oh, okay.
That's always been the rule.
You get where I was going with it.
No, yeah.
I won't impersonate it again.
I got it.
Man, some of these picks. Xia Li also called up to SmackDown. The last time we were covering NXT, her storyline was pretty compelling.
I've always been a fan of hers. I've always, even before the news story that she's been doing, admittedly, I haven't watched NXT in months, so I'm assuming it was going well with that storyline. But I'm a fan of hers. I'm upset that she got drafted to SmackDown because I don't normally watch SmackDown, right? I only watch Raw. Well, I don't normally watch any of it, so.
So other call-ups on the men's side here. We've got Drake Maverick, I guess officially re-going to the main roster.
Awesome.
And we have Austin Theory. I want to talk about Austin Theory for a second here because
talk about it.
The way was working down on NXT. The way was a good gimmick. Austin played his part. Indie Wrestling played her part. Candice and Johnny played their part.
Yeah.
Candice is pregnant. Indy just got married to Dexter, so they're doing a storyline there. Johnny's contract is supposedly coming due soon.
Mm-hmm.
And now you put Austin Theory up here. It's weird that you see the call-ups on SmackDown of Hit Row. They brought them all up. But here we only have Austin Theory. Like, where I thought The Way was a gimmick since they're on separate shows that they could bring them up together.
Well, yeah, but think about how many times they did not bring up a great group together. I mean, even Sanity, they left Nikki Cross behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, but they did at least bring the men. I agree with you. Nikki Cross was definitely part of Sanity. We've had that discussion.
AOP, they didn't bring Paul Ellering.
That's true.
There are plenty of things that worked in NXT that they never.
I don't think you could give me a third.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty. Aaliyah comes up without Robert Stone.
Oh man, I lost quick.
Got it.
I didn't think it would be that easy. I'm kind of disappointed.
Bobby Roode shows up without any fucking aspiration. Never mind.
Man.
Yeah.
Stike brings up a good one. I can't believe Dakota Kai didn't get drafted. That's a shocker.
Is it?
Yeah, what else is there for her to do down there? And based on your rule, her spouse is on the main roster.
Well, that's not an official spouse. that was a one-time inside the circle thing that I told you.
Anyway, let's see. SmackDown sure loaded up on the women in this draft. Stike says, yeah, that's absolutely true. And he likes Ricochet on SmackDown. Maybe he can challenge Knock. That's a pretty good one. Ricochet and Knock could work together well on that other
Ricochet and
side.
Knock could work great together. But, I mean, the question is, are they going to have the pew, 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 fucking, and then gets buried after one small little fucking program with somebody? They highlighted certain people and supplemental certain people. And Ricochet's one is like, I'm surprised they didn't supplemental him. They haven't done shit with him.
Yeah.
And when they tried to build him back up, they fucking failed.
Most of the supplementals were tag teams. Ali and Mansoor, Shorty G and Otis,
Yeah.
Apollo and whatever General Adnan. I know that's not
Aziz.
Yeah, I can't think of what his name is. It was Baba Tunde. He'll always be Baba Tunde to me. Oddly enough, no Killian Dane here. Did he get cut? Because Nikki ASH is on Raw. Drake is on Raw.
We're the worst podcast ever because I don't have the answers to any of that.
I think he's still employed by WWE. I think.
Even in the new NXT 2.0?
No.
Did he fit the mold there?
No, that's why I'm saying why wouldn't he be called up? He must have been let go.
Yeah.
A big shocker in terms of names to me in the supplemental draft, Rob. And you tell me if this is truly shocking to you. Were Nia Jax and John Morrison. That they didn't even give them the time on TV to say that they would be drafted.
I'm not surprised in any kind of way.
Really?
Well, I mean, they just, yeah. No, yeah. Maybe Nia. Morrison, no. I mean, Morrison's been a side character. He hadn't been sent on his own at all. If it wasn't for Miz, nobody probably would give a shit.
Yeah, well, they stuck him with Logan Paul and he got booed out the fucking building.
So,
poor guy. On the Moist show.
Nia, they've always had a kind of a medium-sized push on her. So that surprised me. But, yeah, no, whatever.
Nia. Oh, Stike says Killian Dane asked for his release.
Well, I would, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, big stank. He got moved up with Sanity's tossed back down. I mean, he's been all around, and it's so weird, that they just have not found something that he could do. I know he's a man beast look for today's age, but that's the point.
He would have been great on the main roster.
Yeah, nobody has that look. Nobody has that power. He doesn't need to win. You could crotch chop him like you did Big Show for 10 years.
Right.
But just put him up there.
Yeah.
And the guy can move for his size. He's not like...
You could make him the third Viking Raider.
Yeah. Raid to get paid.
Yeah, they call him Crush.
Let's talk about that. We got the Usos, the Viking Raiders, Garza and Carrillo, and Ali and Mansoor. And I guess technically maybe Boogs and Knock and Happy Corbin and Mishap Moss or whatever the fuck his name is.
I think Garza and Carrillo are going to be, whenever they finally get a match with the Usos, I think that's going to be a really good match.
I think so too. The question is, though, is it looked like, as Stike pointed out, that SmackDown stacked their women's division. But to me, I think they also stacked their tag team division. Because on the other side now, the Mysterios went to Raw. I'm over them as a team.
Did they really?
Yep.
Oh, well. That
New Day also went to SmackDown.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah.
So all those teams that I just mentioned, Viking Raiders, New Day, Corbin and Moss, Garza and Carrillo, Ali and Mansoor, and the Usos, all on SmackDown. What did we get on Raw? We have Shorty G and Otis.
They're good.
Okay. We have the Mysterios.
Or not.
We have Profits.
Yeah.
And we have RK Bro, which is not a long-term tag team.
Well,
I imagine the Dirty Dogs will come to Raw in the supplemental draft or something. There'll be more to come in the next supplemental, but
we saw Ziggler and Rude tonight too.
But you heard what they said when they came out. They said we haven't been picked yet.
Understood, but they're probably gonna.
I'm sure they'll be part of the supplemental, but
so
for now.
And if RK Bro break up, it's not like WWE's not gonna Frankenstein somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. You should have the titles.
I saw people on Twitter, now that Sheamus and Cesaro are back on the same roster, they want the Bar to be together. Sheamus couldn't go full-time, is why he was relegated to the Bar, which was a very workable gimmick. Cesaro, but for whatever reason, Vince didn't feel could stand on his own. Cesaro beat Seth at WrestleMania. Seth is kind of white-hot since. Why would you put him back with Sheamus? That doesn't. I don't like the reuniting of the Bar. And I told Rob this. Only one man has ever won King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, and a Rumble, and that's Sheamus. Don't waste him in the tag division.
I don't know. I'm kind of on that. I would not be upset if the Bar got back together. I mean, I get you have this wrestling chub for Sheamus, and your points are valid, and I get that, and that's fine. Yes, and a lot of us do overlook Sheamus because his run has been so kind of shaky for the last few years.
He got hurt for a while.
Yeah, no, and you're right. No hate. Sheamus is the legend. We love Sheamus.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot fucking Hall of Famer.
All right, fella.
But I don't feel like there's really room for him in the main storylines. I just don't think. I don't think he'd be accepted.
But he just came off the U.S. He doesn't need to be in the main storylines. I mean, I think he's fine with being in the Intercontinental range here. But I'm saying that's my point, Rob. He should remain a single star. He can be at the IC level.
I have no problem with him being the IC champion.
I just think he needs to stay out of the tag division. I think that's beneath him.
No.
I'm not saying he should be up there with Roman and stuff vying for the big belt. I'm saying he should be IC singles.
I think if he got back with Cesaro and they had the Bar again. That bar. I think that is very well worthy of his time. I don't think that's a downgrade or a demotion. I don't. The Bar had a very significant storyline for its entire run.
Oh yeah.
They were always in significant. So number one, he's getting TV, plenty of TV. Probably more.
The Bar was on TV a lot. There's no question.
He probably got more TV with the Bar than he did as Sheamus recently.
Oh, I forgot Hit Row will also be on SmackDown.
Who the fuck is Hit Row?
Hit Row debuted on NXT right as you were exiting.
Okay.
Right before we stopped covering. But it's Isaiah Swerve Scott's faction. It's him, Adrian the Adonis, and some other newbie that I can't remember the other guy's name.
Wait, Soji says the only thing that could be interesting for Raw is AJ versus Edge. Really? That's the only thing?
When he's talking about something new, I disagree with that because you have Big E as a single star now over here.
A champion.
Yep. You kept Lashley. Keith Lee was featured in round 3 as a pick here, so maybe they're going to use him there. I think that Raw has a lot more combos of new stuff. I don't know why you brought Edge and Rollins together. I think Edge could have stayed on SmackDown just fine, and just brought Rollins over. I love that we got rid of Drew. Drew goes to Friday night. Have fun with Drew.
But I mean, you're before you're running down the list here. I mean, addressing his comment that the only thing AJ versus Edge. There is plenty of possibilities right now, and I am in no way a WWE defender anymore. Plenty of fucking possibilities. I mean, you think about all the people Edge could fight. You think about all the people that Seth could fight, or have entertaining stories with right now. I don't agree with that at all.
Well, and one of those stories that you're talking about, Rob, that I don't like that they won't bring up NXT. You said NXT is dead when it comes to mentions on the main roster.
Minimal.
One of the matches I think could be very good is Big E fighting with Seth. Guess who the first 2 NXT champions were?
I mean, that's fine.
Big E took the first belt from Seth. I mean, so he could say, I beat you before. I mean, these stories write themselves when you bring up that old shit.
I'm not saying they're not allowing them to talk about NXT. I'm saying that I think they are more or less avoiding the topic if they can. If it works, I'm sure they'll use it. Why wouldn't they? They own it.
And there was this stupid ass graphic that was going around. That was the top AEW guys versus the top SmackDown guys versus the top Raw guys. And it was trying to show you whatever. Here's my list, Rob, for the top guys right now on Raw. Big E, Lashley, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Edge, Keith Lee, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Is that enough?
That's a good roster.
That is a very formidable roster. That's 8 guys that can fight for the title at any given moment.
Yeah.
And we would believe it.
Yeah.
8 guys that are main event calibers.
That are good on the mic, that give good matches, who portray their characters well.
And to Soji's point, it's not just like Rob said, it's not just AJ versus Edge, it's all of them. I think KO could have a good feud with Edge. I think Seth could have some good stuff with Big E. I think Big E could have good stuff with KO on a singles basis. There's a lot to work with here. Why can't Edge fight Lashley? I mean, there's other stuff than just AJ and Edge.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Soji, who is going to take the Raw title from Charlotte? Nobody. She's going to, at Crown Jewel. It's going to more than likely be Becky pinning Bianca to keep her title, or Bianca beats Becky. It's going to be one of those two. More likely, Becky wins, and they'll just swap.
You don't
the
think
belts.
that Sasha beats Bianca?
When?
At Crown Jewel, in the triple threats, it's Sasha, Becky, and Bianca.
Oh, I thought it was Charlotte.
No.
Oh, okay.
And then they're saying, how will Charlotte lose her belt?
But no, so it's going to be Bianca or Becky is going to win the triple threat. Bianca or Becky wins triple threat. Fine, I was wrong about Charlotte, but it still makes sense. Charlotte goes to fucking SmackDown. And then the SmackDown belt's going to be on Raw either way with Sasha or with EST or fucking Becky. So
no, because it could be Sasha.
But I'm saying it's not going to be Sasha. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be Sasha. It's going to be Becky more than likely, or it's going to be Bianca, and then it's just going to be a belt swap. That's all it's going to be.
Stike says he thinks Bianca's going to take the title from Charlotte. Sasha's going to win the SmackDown title at Crown Jewel. I think Sasha's going to win the SmackDown title at Crown Jewel. I think that it's a triple threat.
You have both belts on SmackDown.
Yep. And Charlotte will lose it some other way. They'll make her defend it. I don't know.
Well, it's 11 o'clock. The match should be ending like any second right now, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
KOD.
There it is.
There's a KOD.
Uh-oh.
Is she going to get now the ropes? 1, 2. Oh, no. Becky.
Oh. Becky's got to save him.
Becky's got it. Yeah. Becky fucked her.
Becky fucked her.
Becky.
The way you said that is like
Becky
Simpsons did it. Like it was in that vein. All right. So the draft as a whole, it's a head scratcher for some things, because what it feels like is that as I ran down that list for Raw, it feels like they took all the singles talent off of SmackDown.
You feel like that?
I do.
Well, you got Brock and Roman, right?
Brock is back, temporarily, and he wasn't technically drafted here.
Okay.
You have Roman, you have Drew, you have Sheamus. That's your former champs, and Jeff Hardy.
Okay. Jeff Hardy said he's going to be a new Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
There.
But those are your 5 former champs.
Okay.
You have Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, and Baron Corbin as your undercard. And you've got a solid tag division and a solid women's division that Charlotte can squash.
Fair.
So I don't feel like you got a ton of talent here. I mean, I feel like they put the women's division and the tag division on SmackDown.
I feel like Vince said, okay, Fox, you want to tell me who I can and can't have on my shows? Tell you what, how about I take all the fucking big ones from you? That's what I feel like.
Well, I think he was maybe trying to say, USA, I'll listen. You're right. Peacock's more important.
Maybe.
Peacock's more important. Everybody who keeps saying that Fox is more important, they get all these advertisements during fucking NFL games and stuff.
I don't know, man.
The Peacock was the highest rated SummerSlam ever. Peacock did well on Extreme Rules.
I know, but it depends on if we're talking monetary. I mean, I don't know the numbers that Peacock paid for WWE. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that the money to be made at $69 a pop for a pay-per-view is pretty fucking huge too. So if they would want to say, you know what, we'll just keep our fucking our network for all of our archive shit, and we'll go back to having fucking $69 pay-per-views.
The amount of I don't remember the exact figure, but it was pretty big. Soji says free agent Brock. What's up, Rocky? And yes, he agrees with me. Peacock is more important. It's a bigger number. And don't forget, Fox has the bailout clause. At any time, they can go to FS1. They don't have to keep them on Fox.
They'd be a fool not to.
They would.
I'd be a fool to go to FS1. I mean.
Right, but it's neither here nor there.
Oh no, Juan's here. Hi, Juan.
Hi, Juan.
Hi, Juan.
He says hello, ladies. He's obviously talking to you.
Hello.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, right. Miz is undrafted at this point. Brock is undrafted. Those are the kind of part-timers. What I was looking at this as, Rob, is that Fox is going to get all these returning people. That is why all the other guys have been moved to Raw.
Roman, Sasha, Charlotte's what Stichler's saying. That's the big 3. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, Fox got the 3 they wanted: Roman, Charlotte, Sasha. There you go.
You have them.
And they got Brock, and I think they get, remember, they got Cena. They've gotten Brock so far because he's going after Roman. Any of these other legends that return, if The Rock does come back, he's going to, yeah. So it makes sense that all these other people can get the hell out of the way. I bet Roman fights Drew for a minute, and then his cousin maybe starts showing up around Rumble.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. I mean, this SmackDown is very weak, and giving them the tag division, giving them the women's might also be a good move.
I think it will be.
Yeah. I think this on paper looks better. Now, the $1 million question, Rob, before we move on.
Yeah.
Are we watching after Crown Jewel when these new roster changes take effect?
I mean, are we watching?
Yeah, like we have stopped watching Monday Night Raw.
I mean,
do we decide? And I don't mean
no.
I'm not talking about full time. I mean, do we the Monday after Crown Jewel, do we give it a chance and watch that episode like we did tonight with the draft? Do we see?
I mean maybe the Monday after Crown Jewel, it's like, let's watch and see what happens. Kind of like we did tonight. Let's watch and see what the draft does.
Yeah, I mean, because it'll be the build towards Survivor Series.
But it's no matter what they do, it's not going to draw me back as a regular full-time.
As a weekly guy.
It's not going to do it.
For full kayfabe, I may not have been watching, but just like I don't really watch SmackDown, I've been following. I mean, I've still been looking.
Yeah.
And reading the results, of SmackDown like we would normally do if we were still covering it.
I can get all the juice in Twitter, clips, rumors, fucking people throwing promos at each other. I can get it all on Twitter. I don't need to torture myself for 3 hours on a Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, follow like 10 people that are prominently featured on the show, and you'll know what's going on.
Right. Yeah, it's like the Daily Show.
Yeah.
I don't know how, more people probably just see all the clips they put up than actually watch the show anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. I mean, the show was what, 22 minutes?
Yeah.
If you watched all the clips, I bet you they were more than 22 minutes. So, right. I mean, the quantity was even more. It's just a different way of everything here. There's no point in devoting 3 hours to anything anymore.
Right.
When you can just condense it down to, hey, this is what, I'm just going to fast forward here. I'm going to fast forward there. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, I guess we kind of flew through our topics here today.
We went fast.
Bobby Fish is debuting with a title opportunity for Wednesday night's Dynamite. Brian should be back with me. I don't know if Kiera will be.
That makes
it's
zero
still kind of
sense to
school
me.
stuff. Yeah,
no sense to me at all. I mean,
and Adam Cole retweeted the debut graphic with, like one of those.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Elite need another name. Super Elite, Super Click.
Oh, so like he would want them to come be with them?
I don't even know anymore.
Maybe he could like fluff the Bucks.
I don't even know anymore.
Fluffer, here it comes, sir.
Yeah, God, I get if Rob owned a wrestling company.
Oh boy.
And he told me that he would pay me a salary to follow him around and spray whatever that shit is that Brandon Cutler sprays on the Elite, I'd do it. In that same breath, though, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Brandon Cutler? I just want to throw that out there. I would 100% do that if somebody, one of my rich friends, was like, hey, man, you just got to follow me around and do this with some spray cans.
I'd do it.
I'd do it, but I'd still question life.
Life is a big one. Yeah.
Like, do I really need to travel on the road just to spray you guys down?
Look at Juan, Rocky, and Soji all here now. We ran through almost all of our talking points, and now
it's 11. They must not have gotten the time change.
With Juan watching, Juan doesn't watch Raw, so.
Oh, so Stike says the reason why we want to point out about Brock is that when he's done with Roman, he could go feud with Lashley, since that's the other one that people have kind of, their MMA background. I would want them to have a shoot fight, not just
Who's
fight.
That?
Brock and Lashley.
Brock and Lashley. Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that'd be fine.
There will be more non-televised drafts. That's why it takes effect after Crown Jewel. We know, Soji. And Rocky's talking about Gable Stevenson drafted so low. Stike, I'm going to need your help here, Mr. Fact Checker. I thought Gable Stevenson doesn't have, he's not going to be here for a while. So it's like drafting a guy that you got to wait a year to get. Like, he's from, like the way NBA drafts European players, Rob.
Again, you said because he's in college, but who gives a shit?
I think he does. I think he said, I'm going to keep my amateur status for my final year.
Okay. All right.
He already got paid.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
He's already got the ink deal. It doesn't make any sense. Soji says, what's funny is that Austin Theory seemed like a huge debut. He was on Raw during the pandemic. I guess they forgot.
I'm not a big fan of the dude, but I thought tonight was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, but remember him and I think it was Garza ended up having to jump in the place of whoever the Prophets were supposed to play.
Yeah, he came in because of the pandemic. He wasn't like, oh, we drafted him up to the main roster and then the pandemic happened. It was pandemic happened. We need fucking people right now. Okay, come on, Austin Theory. You're already there.
Hey, Juan put something worthwhile on the board. He says Raw was okay, not good, not bad. I'd agree with that. It has a bunch of head-scratching moments, like why are Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, who are on both shows, who are they drafting for? And they're acting surprised, like, oh, look at this. Who made these picks? If you guys are surprised.
Juan, the shade of positivity there is confusing. You must have taken like a month hiatus from Fox News or something. Good job, Juan, with your positivity. Good job.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Austin Theory, I enjoyed him with the way. This was a decent debut. It felt bigger than most of these debuts, than Tozawa getting a stunner, than Karrion Kross. Dude, by the way, WWE with these graphics, most of these graphics in their resumes were just freaking terrible. Like, we have nothing to say.
Fall and pray.
When they put your finishing move as one of your 3 career highlights.
No. I see what they did here. Fall and pray for Karrion Kross. They did that so they can have an excuse as to why when he comes out, nobody makes any noise because they're all falling and praying.
Now, that's a good note to end on, Rob.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Friday night's portion. But let's run down the list of who gives a fuck. And I say who gives a fuck because of the way the crowd reacted. When Karrion Kross's name was revealed for Raw, nobody said anything.
And what's his fucking face?
Ricochet.
Wait.
And Viking Raiders, nothing.
What's his fucking face? The guy that done the draft, the fucking
Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce, like, Karrion Kross, and he's smiling at the crowd, like this is a great thing, guys. No, nobody, no.
Like he's gonna take a shit in my bag if I don't sell this for him.
Oh my god, I love him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a weird feeling right now. For what they're going to do with some of these people, the Damian Priest and Jeff Hardy love fest after their match felt weird. Everything kind of feels a little weird, and why we have to wait. I will say the one thing I am kind of excited for, is the King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah,
I'm excited for them to bring back a annual good tournament, the way they kind of did on NXT with the Dusty Classic every year for the tag team division. They need that. King of the Ring is a big gimmick.
They've had the King of the Ring.
Not the way.
Yeah, but you're making it sound like it is going to be the way you want it to be.
Well, is it not going to be 16 people? Start with 16 people?
I mean, I don't give a fuck how many people you start.
Well, because they've had some that were only 4.
I don't care how many you start. Well, I understand
like when
that.
Regal won.
I get that, but it has been a dumpster fire for the last couple of years. Like, who gives 2 fucks?
Yeah, when King Corbin won it, I mean, come on.
And I thought that was actually pretty. I thought his look was pretty cool, the Game of Thrones thing. But then the series ended.
His
and
crown,
it's like,
yeah, his crown was cool. That was it.
Oh, you had the fur. You had a kind of red wedding
with
vibe.
the fur.
No.
Is that kind of singing?
Hey, Donald, how you doing, sir? He says, what's going to happen to the women's championship belt? Well, you can rewind our video and have our non-answer on that one, too.
Yeah, I mean, Rob thinks they're going to do like the tag champs did a while back when it was New Day and it was Street Profits when they traded and they just handed each other belts.
I think that Becky wins and her and Charlotte just had their belts swapped. I think everybody's overthinking the fuck out of this.
If they do that, then does Charlotte become another champion? Because when she turned in her Divas belt and got the women's championship, they added it as a new title reign.
Well, you know what? Maybe they will. Maybe Vince will be like, here's how we get there.
If I could turn back time.
Can't even sing like Vince.
He's
not allowed to sing.
Did you ever think about how Charlotte Flair, if you take most of the middle out there, is kind of like Cher? She kind of looks like her now.
We don't have our sound effects anymore.
She kind of looks like her.
Yeah.
What sound effect would I get? Did I get a Roddy?
No.
Oh.
No.
What about a Butcher?
I was gonna play.
He's
Natalie.
out of rehab.
I was gonna play Natalie and Julia.
Oh.
Oh, this is the Butcher. And, you're all right.
Yeah, you did good. So let's go back to King of the Ring Origins '93, where it was an 8-man elimination tournament. I think it should be it should be 16 with 8 qualifying for the event. You have 16 guys that have to basically get a play-in game. You don't have to show the bracket or anything. They have to get a spot, and then you show the bracket for the final 8 and do it in one night like they used to. But it should start with a little bit of a qualifier. You got 16 guys on your roster that you can make storylines out of this shit with.
But, I mean, just don't. And AEW is guilty of this shit, too. But WWE, they definitely hold the championship belt here. Don't make it so fucking obvious through the bracket. Like, don't look at it. You can see in the first round, you go, just by looking at the map, oh, well, that's obviously going to be these two fighting.
Yeah,
right?
we got a new Joker appearing on AEW. There's a casino match.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so we're going to get another Joker.
Cool.
Yeah, another debut.
Awesome.
Fresh off the other debuts.
Wonderful.
AEW, debut wrestling.
Yeah.
Just do something with the people you have. That's how you got to this point. Sheamus was the last decent King of the Ring. Sheamus, when he was King, Sheamus was good. That's from Soji.
I wasn't watching. So I can only.
Sheamus was a very good King of the Ring, and that was one of those that wasn't great. Does the winner? Rocky says, does the winner have to face Knock? That is weird because Knock's walking around calling himself King Knock. He didn't even win it.
Well, it's not like they can't just say, "Hey, Knock, give me the crown. Don't wear it anymore."
They could.
They could.
They could.
They're not going to do a King versus King thing. He's got the IC. Why would he need? He doesn't need the crown anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's for both. Maybe it's for all the gold.
No.
The crown and the belt.
No, stop.
Yeah. Speaking of stopping, let's end this shit.
Yeah.
You can follow us, get some fun videos on patreon.com/MOWP. If you like us, hit that like button, share it,
I don't blame
subscribe.
you if you don't.
If you don't, write why, so we can maybe fix
no.
ourselves.
No, don't write why.
I don't know. Never mind.
I don't want to know. I already know all the reasons. Pretty sure I know all the reasons.
Wow. All right, so that's Rody Rob. I'm the Jew that leads the crew, Adam Baum, a.k.a. Rob Reason. And we'll be back. I'm the reason you pointed at me.
Oh, you are the reason.
Yes.
Sorry.
Not the like biblical Jesus reason.
Well, you're Jewish, so that would make sense.
And you're atheist.
So yeah, no Jesus here.
Nope. Tune in next time. Same smart channel, same smart time.